Sabine Filippovica.
Okay. So first and foremost, I mean, looking back at your journey, did you ever think you'd be standing here today in Auburn as a police officer?
Not quite yet, but I'm very blessed to be where I'm at today.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's talk about that. Growing up, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Latvia, which is a small country in Eastern Europe, right by the Baltic Sea.
Good deal. Good deal. I'll have you step forward, just maybe like one more step.
Up here.
Yep, perfect. There's that depth of field. So what was it, I mean, tell me a little bit about your home country. What was it like there and stuff like that?
So I was born in 1990,
Okay.
and then I went to school there and played basketball and ran track. It's very historic there and beautiful, and it's a very beautiful place.
When was the first time you got started in basketball?
I believe at the age of 14, I ran track up until the age of 14, and then I just decided to play basketball, and I switched over. At first, my parents did not support me because my dad said I was really good at track, and I was actually going to go to school to run, and I picked up on basketball pretty quickly, and I got selected in the first round, and they have been supported ever since.
You know, what made you want to get out of the track life and go play basketball instead?
I just felt that was for me, because once I started playing, I just knew that was a sport for me.
Good deal. And so, yeah, tell me about this. When you go to your first basketball practice, parents aren't necessarily sure that they want you to make the team or not.
Right.
Kind of walk me through that moment.
Yes, it was very humbling because I lived in a town that was 45 minutes away from the capital, and my dad and mom saw a newspaper for the basketball, and then I told them I really wanted to play, and my dad was like, I'm not really sure if we should take her there or not. So the conversation my dad and my mom had was, let's just take her there and see if she's gonna make it or not, or let's see that it's not gonna be for her. So once we went there, they picked me and selected me in the first round, which was very humbling, and they offered me to go to school there, and I was like, right then and there, I just took the leap of faith, and here we are today.
So when they offered you a scholarship to play where?
Basketball in Riga, which is the capital of Latvia, because I went to school in Limbaži, which is where I was born, and that's 45 minutes away from the capital.
Okay.
So at the age of 15, I moved from my hometown to capital to play basketball there. And there's only one school where you can play sports combined along with education. So that was the only school, and that's where I got in.
Wow.
So then I played there and went to school.
So that was a select number of people that got to do that if there was only
Yes,
one.
there's only one. It's like here in the United States, you have various sports combined. That school only particularly allowed people to play sports for basketball. So that's where I got in, and it's been a crazy journey, and I'm glad I got in.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So you're there. First off, I mean, here in the States, a lot of kids don't go away from their parents until at least like 18, like maybe
Right.
they're going to college or something. What was it like as a 15-year-old moving away from home and starting your own life?
I was scared at first, but I talked to my mom and dad every day. 'Cause it was only 45 minutes, but being a 15-year-old, it's quite a distance. I've definitely been through a lot, and it has made me the person I am today, and I wouldn't take any experiences back.
For sure. I mean, so that definitely helped you grow up fast.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Okay.
I did, but I appreciate all the things I've been through in life because it has made me who I am today.
So you're there, and that's when you start getting noticed by some colleges here.
Yes, I played for the national team's coach, women's, and we played in various tournaments. I've been around 15 countries, and by playing in various tournaments, you have scouts there. So that's how they selected approximately 10 to 12 girls in the year of 2009, and I was one of them. And they basically watch you play, they take pictures, record games, and send them to the universities here. And that's how I got selected to go to school in Kansas at
Holy
first.
cow.
Yeah.
So at 15, you're moving 45 minutes away from your family, and now
And then at the age of almost 19, 18 going on 19, yes. I was scared, and when the opportunity came, I wasn't really prepared for it because I never really set my mind for going to school in the United States. And then when the opportunity came, I asked my parents, and they were very supportive, and I'm very blessed for that decision I made of coming here.
What was the difference in culture from there to here? Did it take long to adjust, or was it pretty smooth?
It maybe took me like a year and a half to adjust. At first, I think the hardest part was like learning slang, because they don't teach you that in school. So a lot of times we would have conversations with friends, and I was like, I'm not quite sure, what that means. But it took me around a year and a half or so to get adjusted.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you start in Kansas. How in the world do you end up in Fort Wayne?
So at the time, my assistant coach knew another coach in Illinois. Her name was Jessie Biggs, and Jordan O'Brien told me that Jessie Biggs just got hired for full-time at Indiana Tech. So she told my story and showed my stats, and they offered me a full-ride scholarship there.
Wow. So you make the move to Fort Wayne. You start playing basketball there, but you're also going to school at
Yes.
college. Go figure,
I was a full-time athlete. I worked on campus, and I played sports. So it was a very busy and set routine. I didn't have much time for fun, because I went to work on campus before school, then I had school, and after school I had practice or games.
Wow.
Yeah, it was busy.
So what made you decide to start studying criminal justice out of all the possibilities?
Because I always wanted to do something within criminal justice, and then once I started taking courses and classes we had 2 or 3 Fort Wayne police officers in classes, and then one of the professors was Lombardo and Spillman, and they kind of caught my interest in law enforcement. So once I started taking that, I knew from the get-go, from my first class, that that's what I wanted to do.
What would you say the most rewarding part of this job is?
I would say the most rewarding job is just, as cliche it sounds, just being able to help someone along the lines. You never know what can happen at any given time, and it's a rewarding job overall.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, the last I read that you were in the process of getting your U.S. citizenship. Do you have it now?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me about that process a little bit. How tough is it for somebody that might not know?
It's very tough. It's very tough. I've been here for going on my 12th year, so you have to progressively, take steps to get to where you need to be, because you can't just apply and say, hey, I want to be a citizen, I have my own lawyer, which helped me process the paperwork, and it's been a long journey because I've applied for various steps prior to my citizenship, but I got it on September 17th.
September 17th.
Yep.
What were just to realize that was all in your rear view mirror, and that you were done with that process. What were the feelings like to know that it was just over?
It was just undescribable, because when I was standing there, I was looking at my certificate, because I passed the test and all the other, requirements, and the guy that processed my interview, he said, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I just can't believe it's here, It's nice to see that all the hard work is starting to pay out.
Absolutely, absolutely. That kind of leads me to my next question of just like, with everything that you've been through of getting, coming over here to a new place and being able to become a police officer and become a U.S. citizen, how rewarding has that been just in your young life to accomplish so much and still be so young?
It's very rewarding. It just shows you that everything's possible. Anything that you can put your mind to. It hasn't been easy, like I said. I've literally started from nothing, and it just shows you that with hard work, anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish it. You just have to believe in yourself.
How would you hope that maybe your story could be an inspiration to somebody else that might be watching this piece?
I would say just whatever you put your mind to, just, accomplish it by hard work, and don't let distractions stop you from what you want to do in life. It hasn't been easy, but you can do it. You can do it. Just keep your circle around that believes in you.
Good deal. Good deal. So going back to the parents, so have they came to visit you yet since?
No, not yet.
Okay, and when's the last time that you went home?
Actually, almost 3.5 years ago, and this is the longest I went without my family, and I hope that I get to go home next year sometime. Next year will be a busy year because I will also go to academy, so there's a lot going on, but I hope that I will be able to go home next year to visit everybody.
It seems like you, within the past, at least, especially the past 2 to 3 years, you've been just hitting these like milestone after milestone after milestone. But what would you say like the end goal would be for you? What would be like you hitting exactly what you want to do in life?
I usually try to not get too much ahead of myself. I work through little goals. So now that I've made it, full-time from part-time, I just want to be the best officer I can. And there's a lot of good guys here that I have a lot to learn from. And I'm very, very happy to be a part of Auburn Police Department.
What about the Auburn community do you like?
I think I like that I worked at the jail before, because I got to know the people, that you also will be working with outside of jail, and you can build a rapport. The Auburn community is very welcoming, and I like the town of Auburn. It's little, but I like it.
Yeah, how big is like where you're from? Like how big is it there?
I'm not sure exactly what's the population of Limbaji, because it's a small town. I would say maybe 7, 8, 6,000 people, but the capital of Latvia obviously is the capital of the country, so I'm not sure quite how many people are there right now, but
okay. I was just curious of how this population compared to what you're used to.
right.
Let me go through and make sure that I asked everything that I had written down that I wanted to make sure I got to. Let's see, we talked about that. All in all, like, I mean, would you go back and would you change anything about your journey, or
I would not. There's been a lot of hardships along the way, but it's very humbling. But I wouldn't change a thing.
Good deal.
No.
Good deal. Now the only thing else I'm trying to just plug in the pieces together. Just how close are you with your parents? How was home life?
Very close. Yes, I talk to my mom and dad all the time, probably 3-4 times a week. The biggest challenge is the time difference, because they're 7 hours ahead, and between working both jobs, it's kind of hard. So sometimes it's bittersweet because of the holidays. I can't be with my family, so I usually work, so I don't think about it, but we talk very often.
One more thing. Like, when do you sleep? It seems like you're always working.
Yes, I'm very excited to just be full-time with Auburn Police Department, because juggling both jobs between the jail and being part-time with Auburn for the last 1.5 years has been very challenging. But
So are you officially done with the jail portion now, and you're strictly full time here now? Or?
Not yet. Within the next, I would say, 3 weeks or so,
Okay.
I should be leaving the jail and coming full time here by the end of the month.
Making the transition.
Yes.
So you'll start 2021 off as a full time police officer.
Yes.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else that I'm missing about your journey, or anything that you want to add?
I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we got a lot of good stuff here.